solo questing is a hot topic right now, and one of the quests is killing Wendigo 3 times, which we attempted solo on our plate lock, which we've been loving. Also, plate lock just got a small little buff, which we'll talk about, but I love Death Ray. And if you can get a spider biting a guy's toes, it's even better. So, killing Wendigo 3 times while being pressured by teams is not easy, and often led to this type of scenario. And this was before the casting changes in normals, as I think is probably the best place you can go do any questing as normals, especially if you're a solo player. There are some quests that are just downright silly, like the Altar of Sacrifice. I'll probably never be able to do that one. But I thought the Wendigo challenge would be an interesting one because I never really attempted it before. And no, I didn't just cheese all of them. We wanted to learn how to fight the thing, but we kept running into teams, just endlessly fighting. It was actually an incredible way to get better at plate lock. Truly didn't really imagine putting myself in this many scenarios, but at first I hated it. I absolutely hated the idea of going in here, trying to fight a boss that's in kind of a random spawns while being pressured by teams the whole time. But the more I tried it, the more I was having fun learning the limits of something I don't really play a whole lot. Well, I played it I think once on the last stream, was plate lock with Death Ray, and it was a ton of fun. We had some failures, a lot of failures, but I think this was kind of the vision that Ironmace had when creating some of these quests, was like forcing people out of their comfort zone a little, where I would never have been fighting Wendigo or even attempted it if there was no quest for it. And seeing how the quest is on Weaponsmith, something I really want to level up, which makes my squire a little better, I want to give this a shot. And this is probably one of the easier ones. There's some new ones that come out with kills and whatnot that I think are just very, very difficult. And all this killing we did earlier, none of those counted. So I still have to find 5 barbarians and I think 5 fighters to slay in this place. But early on, I was doing terrible fighting Wendigo. Then I realized you can just block most things with the shield. So if you're using a shield at all, it becomes quite trivial, as long as you have your spacing proper. With this build being as slow as I am, sometimes you don't get as many swings in as you'd like, or you're hitting arms. But ideally you can kill this thing. The problem becomes, well, kobolds, but also players. And this is when I think a lot of players get frustrated, because they're a solo player trying to achieve these things against teams that are, for the most part, very ruthless. Extremely ruthless. I have the mining quest to do next with the ruby, silver, and gold ore. Maybe that'll be another video, but man, is that difficult to survive 3s. Like, it feels like you're being hunted the whole time. Right off spawn, mostly, too. In this situation, I tried to get somewhere safe after I was getting pressured, and then it was just like, range everything, smacking me around. Nothing I can do. So my quest for finding 3 Wendigos is not starting off that great. But we persevered. We found one hiding here, which we couldn't get to. I'm not really quite sure how or what the trick is there, but we kept looking. And here we finally found a good opportunity to kill this thing. But first we had to get through a couple players, or at least interrupt what they were already doing. This was extremely exciting to me. Plate lock, a couple stacks on Soul Collector, and we're just going to try to melt this fighter as fast as possible. It does take a while, but with the spellcasting speed, it'll be interesting to see how much the duration of this beam changes. I do fumble this. I'm trying to cancel, because my only option here is Blow Corruption. I need to hit this man with Blow Corruption. Luckily, it comes out just in the nick of time. And we get this beautiful health shrine, which will keep me nice and healthy going into this next little engagement. We see this man pushed up top. Try to hit him with a Bolt of Darkness, but Wendigo does the job for me. Just crushes that man into the wall, which is perfect. But now we have to learn to fight this thing very quickly. We've never ever killed this thing before. So me learning this boss was simply trial and error, which can be challenging. But hopefully he's weakened. We can maybe get sidestep a little quicker around those charges, and then just shield for days. I did not expect to be able to block both those with the shield. I don't know really why I'm able to. He must not have any stagger at all. I was truly expecting to only be able to block one. I have been noticing, I don't know if anyone else has been noticing this or not, but quite often my shield will stay stuck in a blocking position. Sometimes I would block arrows or whatnot, and my shield would just stay stuck, and I'm not even really sure how to get it unstuck. I just like spam right click, left click, whatever, but there we have it. First ever Wendigo kill as a solo into duos, which is pretty cool. I get it as normals, but I'm pretty proud of this, and I think questing does force you into these amazing situations of, like, that moment of success. It feels so good. We're not quite there yet. We have some more fighting to do, obviously, in this game, and we still have to do this 2 more times. So we're not out of the woods yet by any stretch. However, I was very much enjoying this little run through the dungeon, hunting Wendigos, fighting players. I'm not sure how this will translate into the kill quests, but plate lock and learning a new class, it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. I think normals is probably the most fun I've had in this game in a long time. It felt amazing to go through here with your base kit that is slowly getting a little better every time you complete one of these quests and just chop people to bits. I'm a little bit impressed with how good plate lock is, and I'm not sure how much of that is just falchion and blow of corruption. There was a few really good moments with Ray of Darkness, even without any real magic damage stacked or willpower. Most times I don't even have enough knowledge to cast all the spells I want to use, which is like Eldritch Shield onto Spell Predation. So I think it could get even better, and now they've like made it stronger overnight. I was just starting to experience this and like really enjoy it, and out of the blue they're just like, you know what, let's just make it so they don't cast really any slower at all. Like 10% casting speed is like 3 or 4 knowledge or something. It's literally nothing. It's a great helm. So I'm quite surprised. I hope it doesn't become overbearing because I love my fighter class, but I watch some of these and I watch them back and I witnessed them live. I did these things and I just felt bad. Like, look at that fighter. He just crumples. You know, blow corruptions in the ranger. I'm not sure what a fighter player is supposed to do. You cannot build enough magic resist if you're wearing plate. Whereas on Warlock, you get that beautiful anti-magic. And in this situation, I had no plan here. I was just running to this room because I thought it might be a decent room to fight him in. And sure enough, here we are. A perfectly stuck Wendigo. So we end up killing this guy as well, which gives us 2 out of 3. Do not forget to kill archers and crossbowmen if you're in these rooms. It also accounts for that quest. It says elite level. However, I was getting kills. Maybe they've patched this as a fail of a blow of corruption, but maybe they patched this. I don't think they did. This was counting towards my questing, so I end up getting that one done as well while attempting some of this. It took a few extra. I just ran around, went through the rooms, and smacked some things around. Here we have it again. This guy found a nice spot, but we're just gonna laser his face off. It's simple as that. You cannot stay in mid-range against Ray of Darkness. You either have to get the heck out of there, or come fight me, and then I'm ready with blow of corruption. Like I said, I'm hoping it doesn't become overpowering because I'm not sure what a fighter's supposed to do against plate lock. I really have no idea. You have little to no armor pen. You have very poor HP. You have no magic resist unless you build crazy magic resist. And then you're sacrificing all your strength, which is like decent damage. The only decent damage you have. I think Slayer is good. Yeah, Slayer can be amazing. Obviously, you can do like 200 damage falchion headshots. But I don't know why you have all these perks designed on fighter to make plate better. But I can just play plate warlock. I don't know why I'd want to play plate fighter. I have so much more options. I can steal spells from people. Not really steal them. But I can only rip a bard of all his buffs. I can rip a cleric of all his buffs. There's just so many options. But here we get our 3rd Wendigo kill. This is a bit of a lie. I actually killed my 3rd one doing this. Yes, I know. I'm ashamed of this. I didn't really want to show you this. But my 3rd kill to complete the quest was just chopping its head through a door. Didn't really even know that existed until it happened. We did kill 4. And then we also killed this barbarian who was clapping his hands being a right the fool. And I apologize. This video's chopped up a little weird, but I wanted to show this kill because he was being super cocky. And the falchion blow to this guy's head, which we did multiple times, felt very satisfying. So, let me know what you guys think of plate lock. I don't know what you think of the changes. Also, about the questing. I know there's going to be more difficult quests, but right now I feel like we're in a spot where questing is extremely challenging for a solo player. And maybe my next video will be my mining experience, which was absolutely horrifying as a wizard crept up behind me when I'm trying to get my ruby, silver, and gold ore. We only got 5 on this occasion. And then we had to fight this guy, which probably a clip for another video. It's pretty interesting how this one finishes.